In this week's episode, we are back after a small hiatus with all of the free agency signings, draft picks, blockbuster trades, and new coaching regimes. Which teams got better? Which teams still need more improvement? And who are the frontrunners for the playoffs going into the 2026 season? All that and more will be discussed coming up, so lace up your cleats, put on those pads, because it's time to milk the clock. Hello everyone, I'm Will.
I'm John.
And I'm JT.
And boy, has it been a hot minute.
Yeah.
It has been so long.
Yeah, I mean, it's to be expected because nothing happens between the months of... nothing crazy happens, at least between the months of March to August in the NFL. I mean, like, we have the draft and free agency and all that, but there's nothing consistently going on. So it's not like we're making episodes every week.
Yeah, it feels much longer because we went from weekly to we haven't recorded in months.
Yeah. The last episode we recorded was in February for the Super Bowl. Currently it's July, so we're deep into the offseason. This is probably the deepest into the offseason that you can get because we're past free agency and the draft and everything and the June 1st signing things.
What a better time to talk about all the stuff that's happened than right now.
Yeah, especially since a lot of training camps don't really start until later in the month. This is the deepest you can get in the offseason, so we thought, why not put an episode out, just recapping everything, so that you got a little bit of something before we get to September.
Yeah.
But today, what we're going to be doing, like I said in the intro, we're going to be talking about everything that's happened since the end of the Super Bowl. So that includes any crazy signings that were made by teams, any trades that happened, and boy, were there a few. Any draft picks that happened between the teams, if there were some surprises, which there definitely was one really big surprise in the first round. And a lot of this was touched on by many people before just because people have the time to be fully creating on YouTube. But we thought it's probably best to just wait and mush it all into one long episode.
Yeah, we have lives. They don't.
Yeah, exactly. Imagine YouTube being your full-time job and you just get to create content all the time. How unlucky they are. In all seriousness, we did record an episode right after the main few weeks of free agency to talk about everything that happened in free agency. I mean, obviously we'll get there, but just like the general stuff that happened. But I think literally days after that was when the Dexter Lawrence trade happened. So that was already like old news, basically. And then after that, more and more trades happened, and then the draft happened after that. And actually, that footage, I was editing it, and then it just got lost. Like the second half of it was just completely corrupted. It was just like a whole load of... So...
R.I.P. the first official lost episode of Milk the Clock.
Yeah, exactly. But
yeah,
here we are now. So what we're going to do, we have a website open, all three of us, and we're going to go through each division, each team, and we're going to talk about some of the big things that they did during the offseason. If they have any notable draft picks, we'll talk about them as well. Yeah, so I think we're ready to get started.
Yes, sir.
All right.
All right, so the first team we'll be going over, just based on this website, we got the Bills, so we're going to start in the AFC East. The Bills, while they haven't had the craziest offseason by any means, it was definitely an interesting one. First thing, obviously, that happened right after the end of the tragic Broncos game in the playoffs. Longtime coach Sean McDermott got fired. He kind of shit the bed with coaching, and there were a lot of ref decisions and all that, but we're not going to go back there. That's in the past. We move forward. Terry Pegula thought it was time to just call it quits on Sean McDermott after all that time. Ultimately, we were looking for a head coach. Interviewed with a lot of guys, including Phillip Rivers, which was a terrifying point to be a Bills fan because I swear to God, if Phillip Rivers became our head coach, I don't know what I would have done. That just sounds terrifying because, you all know what happens when former Colts players go to coach teams, right? We all remember Jeff Saturday, how great of a coach he was. The interim coach.
Man, he was great.
Yeah, he won that one
coach
game.
to ever on a Saturday.
But our biggest move was promoting Joe Brady to head coach from offensive coordinator. This was a move that was not very liked by lots of members of the Bills Mafia, especially since we blame Joe Brady for a lot of things that happened during that NFL season. But me personally, I don't hate the promotion. It's a guy that has been with this team for a few years now. We all praised him when he replaced Ken Dorsey, and now we just kind of turned on him. And while there have been reasons to do so, I think it's worth giving him a try at head coach. I think that he can definitely thrive in the spot. A lot of the players like him because I know a lot of players were pissed when Sean McDermott got fired because he was just such a leader for that team. But you can be a leader, but also be shit with your play calling. And as the guy that was calling the defense, something had to be changed. So ultimately, Joe Brady's our head coach. We'll see what happens. I still think that they'll be a great team. But with him being promoted, we obviously need to replace our offensive coordinator, and we needed a different defensive coordinator because God was our defense tragic last year. Worst run defense in the entire NFL. So what we did, offensive coordinator, we got Pete Carmichael Jr. Over from the Broncos. Both of our guys were from the Broncos,
If you beat them, join them.
Yeah, pretty much. If you beat them and then your starting quarterback dies at the end of that game, join them. Joe Brady made it pretty clear with Pete Carmichael that his role, he's not going to be doing play calling. That's still going to be up to Joe Brady. His role is going to be more of a teacher to all these players because he's had all that experience being the OC over in New Orleans when Drew Brees was there. So he has experience in his position. He was with the Broncos as an offensive assistant, I believe, last year. So good to have a guy with a lot of experience on the team, especially working with a superstar quarterback like Drew Brees. Now he has Josh Allen. So being a teacher more than anything is kind of his role on the offense. And then with a defensive coordinator, we have Jim Leonard, also from the Broncos. But what we're doing, the biggest thing is that the defense is being completely changed, going from a 4-3 to a 3-4, which is a very big change for players to start learning, especially if they haven't played in that before. So some of our defensive end guys are now becoming outside linebackers like Rousseau and Bradley Chubb. So it's going to be different for them, having to go between being on the line and then also playing coverage sometimes. But it provides for a more unpredictable defense more than anything. So as long as we're not that easy to read, then I support whatever happens with the defense. Literally anything could be better than last year. Overall, I think both of those hires for the coordinators were good. Along with that, we had a lot of other different staff hires, but the most notable of the non-coordinator staff hires, bringing in the one, the only, thrown on a dime like he ain't even trying, Trace McSorley. What a gem to have. What a gem to have him. JT and I were talking about this last night, I believe. I don't know what he's going to do with Josh Allen because there's like a 1-year difference between the two. So I think he's just there for like the vibes and just general coaching, but just love to have that guy on the team. He's loved throughout the three of us at Milk the Clock.
Yes.
That Trace McSorley song was played so many times when the three of us lived together in college, but
the good old days. Wow, we sound fucking old for saying that now.
Yeah, I know, man.
Way back in the day.
Way back in the day when we were young lads.
Like 3 years ago.
Yeah. But besides coaching hires, we had a good amount of free agency hires along with a trade. So the big one, we traded for DJ Moore with the Bears for a second-round pick, which the last time we traded for a wide receiver with a second-round pick, it was Amari Cooper, and then he retired the next year. So not like we've had success with that recently, but I think DJ Moore is a completely different person from Amari Cooper. I think we all know that. He's much more of a playmaker. He can be a superstar, while his role kind of dwindled as the season went on in Chicago, just because when you have like Odunze and Luther Burden on the other team, then it's kind of easy to phase out the older guy, especially when you have a young quarterback, basically your entire offense. But very happy with that trade. We definitely needed a wide receiver one because Shakir wasn't living up to the hype that we thought he was gonna, and Everybody Eats wasn't working as well as it did the year prior. So got to have the number one guy. Obviously, we still have all the other guys like Shakir, good old Keon Coleman. We'll see what happens with him.
Cookies.
You don't want to build your hopes up with him.
He loves cookies.
Yeah, he loves cookies, man. Just fucking.
He loves cookies.
Let's stay with the offense. Dawson Knox got signed to an extension, which love that guy. One of the best Bills players. So very happy with that. Trent Sherfield got signed to another 1-year deal. He was on the team a year or two ago. Senor Butt Punt, as we like to call him in the business, which I don't even know if he's going to make the 53-man at the end of training camp, but we'll see what happens. And then we brought in some guys on the offensive line, Austin Corbett and Lloyd Cushenberry, to help us out. And then the biggest signing on the offensive line, re-signing Connor McGovern to a 4-year deal. Losing David Edwards was not the greatest thing ever, but I think we'll survive with that. At least we got one of our guys. Didn't lose them both to free agency, so all you could really ask for. And then looking at the defense, some pretty good signings. We signed Bradley Chubb to a 3-year deal. We wouldn't have Josh Allen if not for Bradley Chubb, and John Elway wanted to take him to the Broncos, so nice that they're together now on the same team all these years later. But I think he'll definitely help. We definitely need help on the defensive line, as was proven with the 32nd in the league in rush defense. So good to have him. And then we signed a lot of safeties. Geno Stone coming over from the Bengals. C.J. Gardner-Johnson coming over from, I don't even know what team he was on at the end of the last year. Was he on the Ravens for a little bit last year too? Was that something that happened?
Ooh, CJ?
Yeah.
He was on our team for a week.
Yeah. I remember that. He was on the Texans at the beginning, then he was on the Ravens for a week, and then I think he went to the Eagles, maybe? I don't know. He was somewhere.
Yeah.
But I'm happy
He
to
always
have him.
somehow
Eagles
ends
and
up
the
on the
Bears.
Eagles.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. He ended on the Bears. But yeah, I'm happy
Look
to
at
have
him.
him here. Seeing all the videos of him during training and everything. He's a funny guy. What a guy to have. And then the biggest safety signing of all time, re-signing DeMar Hamlin to a 1-year deal, because who are the Bills without DeMar Hamlin? Let's be real.
It's true, man.
And then lastly, just looking at our draft picks. If you look at our draft picks, we have one original pick that we actually use in this draft. Everything else came from somebody else in some way whatsoever. We traded back, I think, at least 6 times in that draft, so that was fun. But I'm pretty happy with a good amount of the picks that we made. A lot of it being on defense, which we obviously need. But TJ Parker, edge rusher out of Clemson, very happy with him. Obviously, we need help. People saying that, like, oh, it wasn't a good pick. But I think the people that try and judge rookies just based on literally no time in the NFL at all are stupid and dumb.
Like me.
How can you really know how somebody's going to be in the NFL unless they're in the NFL?
Mhm.
They could be good in college, but they could be shit in the NFL. We've seen that many times, or vice versa. So I can just hope it'll be good. That's really what we're waiting for. The one sleeper guy that people are really praising, Skylar Bell. People don't really liking that pick. Obviously, in an offense that needs wide receiver, I think he could definitely make an impact considering all the time he had in college. And then everything else just on the defense. I can't really complain. We'll see what happens. We'll see who starts. We'll see who actually makes the team, who's on the practice squad, blah, blah, blah. But I'm happy with our draft, and I'd say I'm happy with our offseason overall. I definitely didn't really want McDermott to go, but I like that we gave Joe Brady the chance because it's somebody that the players and everybody's kind of used to. We'll see what happens to him and Brandon Beane at the end of the season after how the season goes. Maybe they'll stay, maybe they get fired, depending on how it goes, but only time will tell. Anybody else? Anybody have anything to say about the Bills that I maybe didn't cover?
Honestly, no. I think you covered it perfectly.
Thanks, pal. All right. Next team in the AFC East, we got the Miami Dolphins. Does somebody want to talk about everything that happened there?
Down the shitter.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, they fired Mike McDaniel, which was a move that was a long time in the making.
Yeah.
But then they replaced him with Jeff Hafley, who, listen, like he could be a good head coach, but he was not one of like the big candidates that were up this year for head coaching positions. For me, this is like the Aaron Glenn of this year, where it's like defensive guy that was on a good team, but he's put on a team that's just so shit that like you don't know if he's going to be good or not. So that's that. They signed Malik Willis to a 3-year deal, $67.5 million deal, $45 million guaranteed. It's a lot of money for a guy that has started how many games has Malik Willis started in the NFL? I don't even know that.
It's got to be at least like maybe
It's
10.
7.
Because he's definitely started a few for the Titans, and he started a few this year alone for the Packers.
Yeah.
He has started in a total. Well, okay, the AI overview says 6 games, but I don't trust that.
I mean, it's believable. It might be 6 games this season, honestly.
He has.
But I mean, here's the thing: is that like he's not a bad quarterback by any means, and if we're looking at every other free agent quarterback that was available this year, especially like free agency and draft wise, there wasn't like some superstar guy. I mean, like besides Mendoza, but he was not getting to them just because the Raiders. But like there wasn't really a guy that was like so ahead of everybody else that like the Dolphins should have been chasing after him. I mean, honestly, of all the free agent quarterbacks, they probably got the most like upside one. Like he can definitely have the downside. He can go back to Titans Malik Willis where he just sits on the bench. But I mean, we'll see what happens. Maybe if Malik Willis doesn't work out, they'll give Quinn Ewers a chance, just like they did at the end of the last season. But we'll go through it in a little bit. But they signed quite a lot of 1-year deals that are interesting, to say the least.
The AI stands corrected. He did in fact start 6 games in his NFL career so far. I mean, listen, like I think he's got upside, like you said, but they got rid of basically all the receiving talent in their room and then replaced it with guys that are just worse.
And their quarterback talent.
Yeah, and oh no, they got rid of Tua. But yeah, they got rid of basically just like they got rid of Tyreek, they got rid of Jalen Waddle, and they didn't use any of their picks. Like they had 2 first-round picks, they didn't use either of them on wide receivers. I don't know, it just kind of felt like a weird move.
I mean, they took a lot of receivers in the draft, but like I don't know. I mean, and the guys they signed Tutu Atwell, Jalen Reagor, and Jalen Tolbert. Like none of these guys are superstars. I mean, they're all good wide receiver 3s, and one of them's gonna have to be wide receiver 1, which is honestly scary.
Yeah, it's quantity over quality, and like the best player on this team is Devon Achane.
Yes.
They signed him to an extension, and he's it's deserved. He's one of the better running backs in the NFL, but he alone cannot carry the load of an offense. Like no, there's no running back in the NFL that can do that.
No, and I think that was their thoughts when they came to choosing Caden Proctor with their first pick, just because they knew like one, the quarterback like Malik Willis was going to need protection, but also just having a good offensive lineman to be blocking for the running back, especially for a shifty guy that runs on the outside a lot. I understand the offensive tackle pick. Yeah. So in a way it makes sense. But at the same time, like, I don't know. There was just really nothing that this team could have done after everything they did, especially being like $100 million in the shitter with cap space. Like there was not much they could have done to make this team good with what they had.
Yeah.
No. But I mean, at the same time, it's like this is a team that's very clearly going to be like drafting a QB in the next like year or 2, I think. Even if they're not going to start right away, but just unless Malik Willis does turn out to be like the future of the Dolphins, I feel like this was a team that was primed to like pick a QB, and then they signed Malik Willis, and then they just kind of filled around the rest of the team with just mid. So, but I mean, yeah, that's kind of what they did. Like that was their whole plan for free agency. And then, like you said, when it came to the draft, like they picked Caden Proctor. From the little that I've seen of him, he's an athletic like freak. He's either going to be great or dog shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then the only other pick that I really cared about was Jacob Rodriguez because I wanted the Jags to pick him, the linebacker out of Texas A&M, I think.
Yeah, he's good.
Or Texas
Tech.
Mustache guy.
Not bad. Mustache guy, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He'll be good for them, but
yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. They had quite a lot of signings. We're not going to go through all of them, but like Greg Dulcich, they signed Aaron Brewer to an extension. I mean, he's one of the better centers in the NFL, so that makes sense. Pretty much all the defensive signings are all either 1-year deals or guys that re-signed for a 1-year deal. They're on the run with a few other teams planning for Manning. So maybe if they could fall that far, they can get him, but we'll see what happens.
Planning for Manning, I like that one.
Thanks. But yeah, the Dolphins will be something.
Yeah.
They also lost Micah Fitzpatrick. Oh no, they traded him away. Oh no.
Oh no, we'll talk about him in like a few minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Next thing we're talking about, we got the losers of the Super Bowl. Easiest schedule in the goddamn NFL. We got the Patriots. JT, you want to talk a little bit about the Patriots? The not many moves that they made?
No.
Okay.
I want to talk about my Jets.
Okay, you can talk about the Jets.
All right.
Just looking at the Patriots, I don't know, they didn't really do too much. Their biggest one, obviously, is acquiring A.J. Brown for a first-round pick, which I think is way too much for A.J. Brown. Maybe he can prove me wrong this year. I mean, it's not like he's going from one quarterback to a better quarterback because, I'd say the skill assets of Jalen Hurts and Drake May could be debatable. Someone put Drake May before Jalen Hurts, but let's see him go up against an actual good defense and see what happens. Cough, cough, the Seahawks. I don't know. We'll see what happens there with A.J. Brown. I don't think it's going to be as crazy as people are saying it's going to be. They also got Romeo Doubs, who, again, he was just one of the many wide receivers on the Packers, and now he's just in a different place. Got a fucking bag to be there. So their offense, I guess, got a little better, Not that it was like bad last year because they got the run game going and everything. They were fine with the receivers they had. Obviously, I think getting rid of Diggs and replacing him with A.J. Brown and Romeo Doubs is definitely an upgrade. There's no doubt against that. And then signing Elijah Vera Tucker as well, getting that O-line help, and then Caleb Lomu in the draft. I mean, it's nothing crazy, I guess. They have the chance to. I mean, they can't really be better, but I think they can either be a little bit worse than last year or on the same level, where I kind of project them.
I mean, it's hard for them to really like live up to what they did this past year because if the only way that they improve is by winning the Super Bowl, so like naturally you're gonna expect them to regress because they have more room to regress than progress.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't mind the moves that they made. I do think, yeah, like you said, like the package for AJ Brown is a little bit much. The first round in 2028 is a little excessive, I think. But I mean, considering even if he's not what he was last year, like I feel like it's still a definite improvement over Diggs, and I think Romeo Doubs can be a pretty good wide receiver too. He was asked to do a lot in Green Bay, so I feel like he'll be asked to do less now. You're saying about how like Drake May, the comparison between Drake May and Jalen Hurts, like they're just very different quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And I feel like AJ Brown would benefit more from. I feel like AJ Brown benefits more from Drake May than what he did with Jalen Hurts, because Jalen Hurts is very much like scrambler, play under center type of guy.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Drake May is definitely like just chuck it. Again, he's very much AJ Brown deep ball. So.
And let's not forget about the 3-year signing of Reggie Gilliam. That's the biggest addition, man. Listen, now they got 2 traders on their team with him and Matt Collins.
Oof.
But anyway, Jim, go ahead.
I could talk about my favorite team in the whole entire NFL, the New York Jetties. We're going to start off with getting one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, Geno Smith, man. Great addition to get Geno Smith.
He's back.
To get Geno Smith back in the green and white. His jersey was not on Epstein Island. It was not on Epstein Island. They extended Breece Hall, that poor soul, that poor guy. I love that guy. He extended for 3 years. And yeah, they didn't make too many signings. I mean, they traded away Jermaine Johnson to the Titans for Trevondre Sweat. I guess, sure. I mean, it's all right. Like the Johnson's like all right. He was like all right, but
that move was just solid getting his guy. That's all that was.
Yeah, exactly. And Demario Davis is also now a Jet again.
He's back.
He's back.
When the Jets were an option, I couldn't say no, or whatever the fuck he said.
I don't know what he was talking about, but yeah, he's back after playing all those years in New Orleans and like using all his good years over there and just saying fuck the Jets. So that's good to have him. And they traded for Minkah Fitzpatrick, who's old as shit. And he also they signed him to a 3-year deal.
He's a 30-year-old safety, which isn't like too old, but at the same time, like extending like I who's 30 to a 3-year $40 million deal, like that's crazy.
Yeah, especially when you're not going to be competing for the next like few years.
Exactly.
Yeah.
At the minimum.
Yeah, I know.
Like it was just like they had the money and they wanted to throw it at someone. They just threw it at Minkah because like, yeah, why not?
Pretty much.
Oh yeah, fuck it. I mean, they extended Joe Tippmann. He's a center. He's pretty good, Sure, good for him. And then the Jets not only had 1 first-round pick, not 2 first-round picks, but they had 3 first-round picks this year. And they drafted David Bailey at number 2, who I think is gonna be really good. I don't know if he wants to really be there or not, but that's okay. That doesn't matter.
The only person that wants to be there apparently is Demario Davis.
Yeah, I guess so. Sure. I think Geno wants to be there. Geno loves the Jetties.
We'll see after like 2 months.
He's gonna do his job. He's the bridge QB to go try and get Arch Manning along with the Dolphins.
He's the tank commander. What can I say?
Tank commander, yeah, exactly. And then they drafted the best tight end in the draft, Kenyon Siddiqui. I think this guy's gonna be really good. He can really do it all. He's that fast Darren Waller type guy, oh shit, they got the beam on me. Playing defense, trying to throw up the scheme on me. That's what he kind of reminds me of. I think he's going to be really good for them. It's just unfortunate that Geno's throwing him the ball, so that kind of sucks. And then they drafted Omar Cooper Jr. from Indiana. He's all right. I mean, I'm not a big fan of all these Indiana wide receivers. I think they're pretty like mid and kind of got helped by Fernando. So I'm gonna guess that he's gonna be a bust. I mean, I watched his tape. It didn't look crazy, but sure. And really, nothing else crazy happened in the draft except they drafted Cade Klubnik in the second round, or the fourth round out of Clemson. So maybe he'll develop and do something. Could be something in the future.
Will's favorite quarterback.
Yeah, Will's favorite guy.
I love
He loved
Cade
him.
Klubnik.
Mm-hmm.
Right behind, he's number 2, right behind Lenore Sellers.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
trust. Listen, right
Oh my
here.
God,
I'm
Lenore's
calling it right now before the college football season even starts. Lenore Sellers is going to be the Heisman winner. He's going to be the greatest quarterback in all of college football. He's going to win the Heisman. He's going to win the national championship, and he's going to be the first overall pick. Fuck you, Arch Manning. Actually, I hope he's not the first overall pick because that means he's probably going to the Jets or the Dolphins. And if he goes to the Jets or the Dolphins, I will kill myself. But listen right here. He is going to be a superstar in the NFL. And if Josh Allen did not exist, I would want Lenore Sellers on my team. Thank you.
I love
Betting
it.
odds
I
right
love
now for Lenore Sellers to win the Heisman is plus 3,500. So those are the best the odds are going to be.
it. Yeah,
You heard it here.
Book
Wait.
it.
Before they go down.
Listen, Will knows the script, guys. They're gonna go down. They're gonna go down after this.
Yeah, I paid all those microtransactions in college football. I know what happened.
Yes. Fucking microtransactions. But yeah, that's all I got on the Jetties.
All right, that's good. I didn't want to talk about them anymore anyway. Overall, the AFC East is going to look probably exactly how it did last year, with the Bills and Patriots fighting for the top and the Jets and the Dolphins fighting for the bottom, honestly. They're just trying to get to the bottom, baby. All right.
Amen.
Next, on to the AFC North, starting with the Baltimore Ravens. So, JT, back-to-back. Here we go, buddy.
Yay.
Here we go.
But yeah, so I got to talk about my shitty team. Yeah, the biggest thing, obviously, we fired our 17-year coach, John Harbaugh. He's been the coach longer than I've actually been a fan of the team, which is fucking crazy. Yeah, we fired him and we signed Jim's best friend, Jesse Minter. He was the defense coordinator for the Chargers. I really like him. We needed a guy to bring back, the old school Baltimore way of defense, and hard school football, and I love that. I love Jesse Minter, and I think he's gonna, he's just gonna give it back. We're going back to the bullies of Baltimore. Basically fired our whole entire staff. So we lost Greg Roman. Oh my God, Greg Roman. Jesus, I meant Todd Monken. Greg Roman's just in my head, guys.
Greg Roman traumatizes you. He keeps you up at night.
He literally does. Because Todd Monken left, and then we fired Zach Orr. Thank fucking God. And our new offensive coordinator is Declan Doyle from the Bears. He was the Bears. I believe he was the pass games coordinator.
Dylan Doyle?
Yeah, the youngest person ever. Dylan Doyle, man. Don't listen to him right now. Dylan Doyle.
Shout out.
Shout out Dylan Doyle. Look him up, guys. Yeah, I really like the way I was really liking the way he was talking with all our offensive guys. I was watching the wire that they had. Yeah, I really think he's going to be a big part in adding a new system of our offense and introducing LJ and just getting everything going again because we need that, man. We need that. I love our new defensive coordinator, Anthony Weaver, former Raven. He was our defensive back coach last year. I love him. I think he's going to be very, very good for us. He wants this bullies back, man. He wants that blitz, and I think we're going to definitely, as long as we have a better defense than last year, when the quarterback has less than 5 seconds to throw the ball, we're fine. Because it was horrible last year. Anyway, and lastly, my favorite signing actually, our special teams coordinator, Anthony Levine Sr., another former Raven. This guy, I don't even think you guys remember Anthony Levine Sr. playing Oh my God, I loved the way that he played. He was so good. I think he won the Super Bowl with us in 2012. Oh, there's so many things I could say about him.
I wasn't born in 2012.
Yeah, anyway. Great guy, great leader, captain. And now I can talk about who we got. So our biggest signing obviously being Trey Hendrickson from the Cincinnati Bengals. So he joined us.
Trader.
He's a great trader. It's a good trader. Good boy. This is a great signing. We needed a guy to get to the quarterback because it was fucking horrible last year when we had only Mike Green that could get to the quarterback. We like every fucking game, every quarterback had 6 seconds to throw the ball. And I was like, what are we doing here? I think I could rush. I think the three of us could rush the quarterback better than all these guys. It was so bad. And, at least we have one guy that can, rush the quarterback.
Well, JT, talk about why you signed Trey Hendrickson. What happened?
Oh yeah, I can finally talk about this. It was a big trade happened. Max Crosby was gonna get traded to the Ravens for 2 first-round picks, and I was so excited. I love Max Crosby. He's a fucking phenomenal player, great player, and it was this is the only time the Ravens have we're gonna trade the first-round pick in their franchise, but they looked at it and they didn't like the way Crosby's injury history with his knee and everything, and so they backed out of the deal before the new season started. And at the time, I was kind of a little upset about it, but as time went on, I was like, you know what, it's great. I actually like it because we need those picks. If we're not going to get a guy that can stay healthy, what's the point? That we're losing our future right there. So
No, the real reason why they didn't trade for him is because he was 6 years sober.
probably
That's
that
the reason.
too. Shout out
Also
Brendan.
because he started releasing. He started releasing CTE rap around the 4th of July, so maybe you don't want him.
Yeah, honestly, I'm glad. After that, I was like, yeah, I'm good. I'm good, twin.
One of the many famous Raiders players to release CTE rap in the past few
Oh,
years.
Bill Belichick.
Anyway.
Yeah, then
And then we got John Simpson back after going to the Jets. The holding machine legend. Honestly, I'd rather him than Daniel Falele. So, yeah, sure. Yeah, that was really it.
All right, cool.
For our signings. Oh wait, did we sign? No. Am I on crack, guys?
What?
Yeah. No, I'm not on crack. Sorry. You're right.
You want to talk about your draft?
No, I want to talk about Jalen Hawkins. I love this kid. The guy from New England, safety. He's like a little fucker, but I love him. That's all I want to talk about. But anyway, for the draft, in the first round we drafted. Will, how do you fucking say his name?
Oliva Vega Owane.
Thank you.
I think that's how you say it, but I'm not sure.
Sure. Guard. He was a guard out of Penn State. Really good guy. We needed interior offensive linemen because we already have our tackles set, and we needed a guard to help with the run blocking for Derrick Henry and the pass blocking for Lamar. And I think it's gonna be really good. And then the second round, we got a steal with Zion Young. I think this guy is so good. He was first round talent, and he's definitely gonna help be on the other side of Hendrickson, and he can sub in with Mike Green too. So he's gonna definitely get more pressure to the quarterback. And then my favorite pick being wide receiver Jacoby Lane. This guy, he reminds me of like a Jared McCain, but the NFL version. Well, John knows what I'm talking about.
He makes TikToks all the time.
Yeah, he makes a lot of TikToks.
Oh, so he's Juju, okay.
Yeah, he's Juju. He's good. I love him. He's got that flair. I don't know. He's got aura, as the kids say it.
You can also just say that he's a good wide receiver.
He is a great wide receiver, but like
but no, your first thought was no, he makes TikToks.
He makes TikToks. That's what he does, man. But anyway, I think he's a great player. That's really all I got to talk about with the draft. Yeah, I think we had a great offseason. Could have been worse, could have been better, but I think we're looking really good for the next season.
Fantastic.
Well done, JT. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Yeah, good boy. All right. Our next team we got in the AFC North. We got the Bengals. First thing I'm seeing here, forgot about this. They signed 2 of the oldest quarterbacks to ever exist on the earth. They got Joe Flacco again. They re-signed him, and they picked up Josh Johnson.
The retirement home.
Exactly. Besides that, they had quite a lot of picks that, or not a lot of picks, a lot of signings that could do them well. A lot of old guys, but I mean, it's whatever. They lost Trey Hendrickson, so
They had to do a lot on defense.
they definitely beefed up their defensive line, which was an issue last year. But
Yeah.
they signed Boye Mafe to a 3-year deal, which I think that'll definitely help them. Biggest one, they traded for Dexter Lawrence from the Giants for the 10th overall pick. So already, I'd say that's enough to replace Trey Hendrickson in terms of the amount of impact that they have in the defensive line. They get a guy that's younger than Hendrickson, has quite a big impact. He had a big impact on the Giants, and I think he'll definitely be good there. But then they also signed elderly Jonathan Allen as well to a 2-year deal. 2 of the better defensive linemen. I mean, I don't know that Jonathan Allen was too great last year with the Vikings, but he used to be good. So
He'll make for a good duo with Dexter Lawrence for sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Honestly, when it comes to free agency, they didn't really make too many crazy moves. I mean, that's not free agency, but trading for Dexter Lawrence is probably their biggest thing that they did. They didn't even have a first-round pick, obviously, because they traded it away. So I'm not even going to speak about their draft because I really don't know who any of these guys are or like if they're good or anything. I don't know. I'd say they did what they needed to do. They went out and got what they needed, and I don't think that there's really much else they could have done, especially since they're paying 3 guys on their offense like at least a third of the salary cap. So
Yeah, in some, they needed a lot of help on defense, and at least they're trying.
yeah,
So
exactly. All right, on to the Cleveland Browns. Does everyone talk about all the great things that they did?
I can talk about them since they're
Yeah.
so like intertwined with the Jags for whatever fucking reason. So I mean, they did a lot of stuff. First thing they did is they acquired Titus Howard from the Texans for a 5th-round pick, and then they signed him to a 3-year deal. They signed Tevin Jenkins to a new contract. They got Zion Johnson to a 3-year contract. Elton Jenkins. Basically, they just changed their entire offensive line, which fair enough. Their offensive line was very bad last year. And then the big thing, they traded away Myles Garrett. We'll talk about what Myles Garrett means for the Rams later, but I actually really like the package that the Browns got back for Myles Garrett because while yes, Myles Garrett is probably the best player in the NFL at the moment, he is 30 years old, and it just would have been bad for football if he wasted any more time like on the Browns. So I think trading him was definitely the right move, and to get Jared Verse out of it, like Jared Verse is 5 years younger and he's still like a top 10, like a relatively like in that range.
He was Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Yeah. He's 5 years younger, plus they get more draft picks. And with the way that they've been drafting the past few years, I mean, dare I say the Browns are actually starting to look, kind of promising. Their draft class last year was great in their first year for the most part. So really looking forward to that. They fired Stefanski, which I think that was a move that they kind of needed to see that was in the making as well. Like Stefanski wasn't making a lot of friends over there in Cleveland, but they hired Todd Monken instead of who's their defensive coordinator? I can't remember his name.
I don't know.
It was Jim Schwartz.
Jim Schwartz, that's who it was. They didn't hire Jim Schwartz over him, but yeah, I mean, I don't get it. I think he can. I mean, JT, maybe you could speak about him a little bit more, but I just don't think he's really a good fit for this team, considering they don't have a structure on offense yet.
Yeah, he's gonna ruin Shador.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I mean, they did I really like that they got Jared Verse and the package they got back from Myles Garrett. And as far as the draft, I think Spencer Fano's good at O-line. They needed to get somebody at wide receiver, so either one of KC Conception or Denzel Boston should break through as wide receiver 1. Oh, they drafted Justin Jefferson. How nice.
Yeah, exactly. They have Justin Jefferson in now.
Shit, man.
Jid, how do you feel about that? They have Justin Jefferson now.
I'm actually more scared of them getting Tylan Wallace.
I like how when you look at the NFL website too, like everyone is just like, oh yeah, all the guys they drafted, and he's just in a full-on suit.
Yeah, it's his college picture, like the little fucking pictures they show. And then they picked Talon Green as if they didn't have enough quarterbacks in their quarterback room. But yeah, I mean, I think they did a lot, and I think that they're setting themselves up well for the future.
Let's not forget about the Browns quarterback room of last year of Sean Watson and Kenny Pickett and Shador and Joe Flacco and Dylan Gabriel. That will go down as the most legendary quarterback room of all time. Speaking of quarterbacks, JT, you didn't talk about your undrafted free agent quarterback.
Oh my God! Will the Ravens not only invited one of the greatest college quarterbacks of all time to minicamp, but signed him, Diego Pavia.
Diego Pavia.
I'm so happy. You guys won't understand how happy I will be if this man makes the active roster.
But you just re-signed Tyler Hunt.
No, we make him quarterback 3.
Okay.
We don't need Skylar Thompson.
Go back to Miami or wherever the fuck he came from.
Fucker.
Anyway, on to the last team in the AFC North. We got a team that made quite a lot of moves. We got the Pittsburgh Steelers, most notable, which we waited a long-ass time for, and it's a good thing that we waited to make this video for this reason, because this is the thing that we were just waiting to happen for the longest time. They re-signed Aaron Rodgers to a one-year deal, which was kind of expected because he was just kind of hinting at it, and they even brought in Mike McCarthy to kind of entice him after firing Mike Tomlin. Or not firing him, mutually stepping away.
We were actually going to post the episode, but then Aaron Rodgers called us personally and told us to wait for him to announce that he was coming back to the Steelers.
Yeah, he was in bed with Pat McAfee, and he was like, "Wait." That's all he said, and then he hung up.
Wait.
It was very suspicious. Like, we didn't know we sat and called for like 2 hours trying to decipher the message.
We watched his documentary like 3 times on repeat to like look for subliminal messaging, and we just couldn't figure it out. So we did what he said.
I sat in my room in darkness and just waited for the answer to come to me.
Exactly. But besides that, they made quite a lot of moves. Just looking at all the stuff they did free agency alone. They signed Rico Dowdle to a 2-year deal, which, I mean, they had to replace the guys that they lost. So I think he could definitely have an impact. I don't know that he's going to be starter over Jalen Warren, even though Rico Dowdle had those 2 crazy games on the Panthers last year. But
who'd they lose at running back?
Kenneth Gainwell, man.
Yeah.
Oh shit, yeah.
Probably their best receiver.
Well, speaking of receivers, they got Michael Pittman now.
That's true. They traded with the Colts after. We'll talk about what happened with the Colts, but Colts made a move, re-signing one of their guys. So the best thing they can honestly do was get rid of their one of their older receivers. Which honestly, the Steelers got a fucking steal out of this. Get it?
I agree. Yeah.
But, a 6th and a 7th round pick for Michael Pittman, like that's.
I thought Michael Pittman was just straight up better than Alec Pierce, but
I guess like when Daniel Jones was throwing the ball, he's throwing it to the younger guys a lot, like Downs and Pierce. So I think, with him coming back, they just decided it's probably the best to keep the younger guys around and get rid of the older guys, which it's what every NFL team tries to do, unless you're, the Jets.
We'll talk about it more with the Colts, but I feel like they could have gotten more for Pittman. But for the Steelers, I like the move.
But besides that, they re-signed Darnell Washington to a 5-year contract, so Mr. 6'7's there for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Hit it, Chit.
They re-signed Cam Hayward to a 2-year deal. He's old as hell, so that's fun. Then they also signed a lot of other defensive linemen, which, sure. Nick Herbig agreed to a 4-year, $100 million deal, which that's a big guy in defense for them, so it's good that they got to lock him down. Cole Holcomb did pretty well last year, too, so they locked him down. In terms of corner, they got Jamel Dean on a 3-year deal, which will definitely help them out. Then signing some other veterans like Sante Samuel, Jaquan Brisker, Darnell Savage. So just a lot of guys to help out the secondary. So
and you can't forget that they re-signed Chris Boswell.
Chris Boswell, who I think will be 40-ish by the time his new contract is done. Because he's.
But you know what? He'll
2030 season.
He'll contribute to more points on the Steelers than anybody else on their team.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about their draft?
Yeah, they had an interesting draft. They got Jennings Dunker, that's pretty cool, and Drew Aller. Don't forget about Eli Heidenreich as well.
Oh yeah, the
running back
fullback guy from Navy. Yeah, that was a pretty cool moment from the draft.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Listen, I'd be crying too if I was able to go get paid millions of dollars to go sit on a bench in the NFL, then have to go serve in the Navy.
Yeah.
Listen, he's gonna be a starter. You watch.
I mean, yeah, they got rid of Kenneth Gainwell, man. Anyone could start.
They need him. They need the Navy.
But yeah, I think the Steelers had a pretty successful offseason overall. I mean, I think getting rid of Mike Tomlin's definitely the biggest change they could have made because he's just been there since like the Big Bang. But I don't know. We'll see what happens with them. They'll probably go 9-8 again. I don't think anything's going to change now that Tomlin's gone. But who knows?
No, they can't go 9-8 because he's there. They're gonna go 8-9.
Yeah.
That's true. Or they'll go 10-7 because that's just Mike McCarthy.
Mm-hmm.
True.
On to the AFC South. First team we got the Houston Texans. Jesus Christ. They sent a lot
There's
of
a
people,
lot.
huh?
Yeah, a lot of them are re-signings, I think.
John, I'll let you handle that.
All right. I think the first big thing that they did the offseason was they traded for David Montgomery from the Lions, and they gave up Juice Scruggs, a 4th and a 7th, 4th in this year's draft, and then a 7th in next year's draft. To be honest, I don't really understand it because yes, I think David Montgomery is like a good running back, but they had problems on the offensive line. David Montgomery is 29 years old, so I don't think he's going to project to be any better than he is now. And I don't really think that he was the issue with the Texans' offense. I think the issue was the offensive line. But I mean, he's an upgrade over is he an upgrade over Woody Marks? I'm not even sure. But like he'll be a different look, I guess, at running back. They signed Foster Moreau. Yeah, they did a lot on the offensive line. They signed Wyatt Teller. I think that was actually a pretty good move on their part. They extended Will Anderson, and then they signed Danielle Hunter to a 1-year contract, which I think is pretty funny because it's paying him like $40 million, and like $30 million is just like upfront. So they're just paying him a lot of money just for being on the team,
Which is fair.
just for signing that contract, which is fair. Yeah, like he is a big reason why that defense is so scary. Yeah, they re-signed their defensive line. The biggest crime of them all, they signed Reed Blankenship. They broke up the exciting whites. How dare them? How dare they do that?
Assholes.
Yeah.
And then they signed Kaimi Fairbairn, making to a 2-year, $13 million deal, which makes him the highest paid kicker in the NFL. Yeah, he's a good kicker, so you got to do what you got to do, I guess. And then for their draft, the only pick that really stood out was the defensive tackle Caden McDonald. He was one of the best like defensive tackle prospects in the draft, and of course, like the best defense in the NFL. Just so happens to have a hole at defensive tackle, and they fell to him, and like he fell to them in the beginning of the second. So that's gonna be scary. But other than that, they pretty mid draft. Not gonna lie, that's all I got basically, and I don't like this team.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, next team we're spending 2 minutes on because that's all we need. First of all, Alec Pierce. They re-signed Alec Pierce. That was the first thing that we ever got in free agency. Free agency open. They re-signed him to a 4-year deal. They were like, "Yep, we got our guy." Next, I think a few days later, they re-signed the greatest quarterback of our generation, Daniel Jones, to a 2-year, $88 million deal. Anthony Richardson, bye-bye. You're done, pal. Sayonara. We don't need you anymore. Go to a different team. Go sit behind Jalen Hurts because that's probably where you'll end up sitting. Or just find some other Russian quarterback. Daniel Jones, GOAT. Love that guy. I hope he doesn't tear more stuff in his leg next season. If he doesn't, then he'll be great. That's it. Nothing else happened with that team. All right, John. Go talk about the Jags.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think I should start with the very few good things that happened for the Jags in free agency because there was a lot that did not go our way. I think the best part is that we actually got to keep both of our coordinators, Grant Udinsky on offense and then Anthony Campanelli on defense. I think having them both stick around is going to actually really help this team because I think as the season went on, the system started to make more sense and Trev started to play better. I think keeping the coaching staff around is going to help for the development of like the guys that are there. But other than that, we did basically nothing, and we let a bunch of players walk. We signed Amir Abdullah, which hooray! We re-signed DJ Dallas. Loki forgot he was on the roster. We signed Chris Rodriguez, probably the biggest signing, and it's a 2-year, $10 million deal. So that's the biggest signing that we had of a player that was not already on our roster. We re-signed Quentin Morris. We extended Brenton Strange. That was a good move. We re-signed Dennis Gardeck. We gave Trayvon Walker an extension. I like Trayvon Walker, so I'm glad that he's still here. We re-signed Matt Dickerson. Who cares? We acquired Ruka Rororo from the Falcons in exchange for Mason Smith, which, again, like, It's kind of just like a lateral move. I don't even know why we drafted Mason Smith in the first place, but it is what it is. We re-signed Buster Brown. He was really good for us last year, so that was a good move. And then we re-signed Ross Matisic. So we re-signed a bunch of guys. So that's like, oh yeah, we got to keep a bunch of guys, right? Well, wrong. We let two of our most valuable players walk in free agency. We let Devin Lloyd go to the Panthers, and then we let Travis Etienne walk to New Orleans, and we did absolutely nothing to replace them. So we are really hoping that Ventrell Miller and Bashal Tutin can fill those holes, because if they don't, yeesh, it's gonna be a rough look. And as far as the draft, I mean, this is like the most egregious draft I think I've seen from the Jags and since being a fan. Listen, I get that you want to pick players that like fit your team and fit like the needs that you have and can make an impact, but drafting players like multiple rounds before even projected to go is just like it's just bad process. Like our first pick was Nate Borkature, tight end out of Texas A&M. He's an old tight end that all he does is blocks. That's it. And we drafted him with our first pick. That the first pick that we had in the draft, that was that.
Hey man, our blocking tight end last year had more touchdowns than Justin Jefferson, so you never know what could happen.
I think that says more about JJ McCarthy than anything. But regardless, yeah, JT can attest to this. My live reaction to that was I was not very happy.
Yeah.
I waited so long for the Jags to make a pick, and it was the most like it was just like a wet fart of like, oh, here you go, here's your pick. And I did not know this guy at all. I'd never heard of his name before. And so I had to go do my research on him, and he has like 5 catches or something. Like he doesn't like receive. And like I get it that like Liam Cohen likes to run the football, but Jesus Christ, this guy was like supposed to go in the 5th. Other picks that they made, Albert Regis, I'm not gonna lie, I forgot like what he does. He's a defensive tackle, but I don't know how good he is because I just don't remember, so it can't be that remarkable. The only good pick that we had in this draft was our was offensive guard Emmanuel Pregnon out of Oregon. I think this guy's gonna be great. He's huge for an offensive guard, and he's gonna be a force for like the run game, and I think that'll help a lot. Jalen Husky is basically just Geno Stone. The ball just finds his hands, and that's kind of it. Wesley Williams, I don't remember anything about him. He's an edge rusher out of Duke, sure, whatever. Tanner Koziel, he's basically the exact opposite of Nate Borkature. So, I mean, if you put Tanner Koziel and Nate Borkature together, they're basically just like the perfect tight end. All Tanner does is just like catch footballs. That's it. He doesn't do anything else. Josh Cameron is good, but he's a wide receiver, and we already have too many of those. Same thing with C.J. Williams. Zach Durfee's another edge rusher. I don't remember anything about. And then, we drafted a linebacker, Parker Hughes, out of Middle Tennessee State in the 7th round when we lost Devin Lloyd, who's a top 5 linebacker in the league. The only thing I know about this guy is I think he ran the fastest 40 time of the linebackers in this year's draft. That is it. I don't know, man. I think they're putting a lot on the shoulders of, like I said, like Ventrell Miller, Bashal Tutin. I think there's a lot of pressure now on Travis Hunter as well, because considering that, we haven't really done much else to improve the roster, he has to now play both ways. I think he can. I think he could do it. And I think he could be great at it, but he just, like, it's now or never. But yeah, I don't know. This free agency just kind of felt like Liam Cohen and James Gladstone saying, you know what, we're smarter than every other NFL team out there. I don't know. They put a lot of pressure on themselves. I don't really think they needed to do. So yeah, there's my little rant.
It's fantastic.
And then, holy shit, God, why did everyone in your division just sign 3,000 people?
Yeah, the Titans liked everyone.
What happens when every team is ass?
I mean, they had a lot of money, so I guess I understand it. But the Titans signed a lot of fucking people. The best one of them all is Mitch Trubisky coming over from the Bills. Wow, what a guy! I mean, did you see that Week 18 game against the Jets? Holy shit!
Surprised the Dolphins
smoked their ass.
They love signing backup QBs that go off in games where the starter doesn't play.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, they signed quite a lot of people.
Wandale.
I'm trying to look through the ones that are notable. Wandale Robinson, 4-year deal. Obviously, they needed some wide receiver help for Cam Ward. They definitely got that. God, who else here? They re-signed Jeffrey Simmons to a 3-year deal. So that's
they signed John Franklin Myers
to a 3-year deal. Yep.
Cordell Flott.
Yeah, Cordell Flott and Alante Taylor both signed the 3-year deals.
Tommy Townsend.
Yeah, wow, what a guy. I don't know. They made a lot of I don't know. This is a team that had a lot of cap space, and they honestly could have done literally anything, and it probably would have been an upgrade from whatever they had last year. I hate that they signed 2 QBs because then what are we gonna do with Will Levis? Where's Will Levis gonna go? Is he gonna? I love Will Levis so much, mostly because of his first name.
Listen, what's gonna happen is that Will Levis is gonna go to the Packers. He's gonna sit behind Jordan Love, and then Jordan Love's gonna get injured, and then Will Levis is gonna play a few games. He's gonna look really good, and the Dolphins are gonna sign him to a 3-year deal.
No, because in 3 years, then the Packers have to sign. They have to draft a rookie in the first round, so we don't know what's gonna happen.
Fuck.
I mean, they got Carnell Tate in the top 5 picks, so that was cool. That'll definitely help. If we're talking about improvement, then that's definitely the definition of improvement.
Yeah, Carnell Tate's a safe bet to be a good wide receiver. Wide receiver out of Ohio State. It's a pretty good bet that he's gonna be good.
Let's hope that the Ohio State wide receiver taken 4th overall doesn't end up like the last Ohio State wide receiver taken 4th overall, because he's doing jack shit over in Arizona.
Hey man, don't talk about my goat.
Oh, what is this? A wide open pass? All right, let me just not catch it. That's how you play football, right?
Yeah, man.
Anyway.
I hope he keeps on doing that, because then maybe we'll trade for him.
Yeah. First team we're going to talk about in the AFC West. Not a crazy amount happened here, so it shouldn't take us too long. But we got the Denver Broncos. The biggest move they made, acquiring Jalen Waddle from the Dolphins for first-round pick, 4th-round pick, another 4th-round pick. They got their guy. They really kind of needed wide receiver over there. I mean, Courtland Sutton's not bad, but he's definitely like the ideal wide receiver 1 scenario. So getting Jalen Waddle definitely helps out Bo Nix. I don't really know if Bo Nix is slanted to start the beginning of the season. I think
he should be. If I'm not mistaken, I think he should be fine.
I don't know, because
to start.
What did he do? Did he tear something or break something?
It was something in his ankle, I think, is what it was.
If he broke his ankle, I guess he could be back. But if he tore something, I feel like it's gonna. He might
I think he broke.
Weeks.
He fractured his right ankle right ankle.
He'll be fine.
Yeah, he's expected to be full go for training camp. Yes, he should be fine.
All right, cool. Thank God we got a Bo lead out here. But
trust me, guys. I'm a PT in training. I know what I'm talking about.
If we're talking about a team that didn't really do much this entire offseason, it's the Broncos. I mean, besides Jalen Waddle, like even their draft, they didn't even have a pick until the 3rd round, and like all the guys that there was just a lot of re-signing. It was actually primarily re-signing. They didn't sign anybody out of free agency.
Yeah, I mean they were right there too. Like if they had
which
Bo, they'd probably make it to the Super Bowl. So
I mean they did lose a few guys, like they lost Drager and Law, and I feel like they lost someone else on defense. But either way,
John Franklin Myers, that's who it was.
But anyway, on to our next team in the AFC West. We got the Kansas City Chiefs. They made a few moves.
The biggest move being signing Khair Elam.
Oh, absolutely. When we're talking about first-round talent, we're talking about Khair Elam. I mean, did you see him on the Bills falling over any time the ball went his direction? And did you see him on the Cowboys getting burnt by everybody that got near him? And on the Titans getting burnt by anyone that went near him? We're talking about great corners. It's Khair Elam.
He knows how to help the Chiefs win. What can I say?
True. In all seriousness, their biggest probably Kenneth Walker. After he had quite an impressive Super Bowl, won the Super Bowl MVP, it was clear that going into free agency, he was going to get a bag wherever he went. He got that with the Chiefs, especially for a running back, $45 million. So not bad at all. They re-signed Travis Kelce to a 3-year deal as well, which I don't know how the fuck that guy's still in the league because last year he was buns. But hey man, I mean, maybe he'll have married strength after his wedding in the past few weeks. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. They brought back L'Jarius Sneed as well, so I think he'll definitely do better back in Kansas City because he was ass in Tennessee. But that's what happens to everybody that goes to Tennessee. And then they traded for Justin Fields, which there's a good chance that he starts the first few games of the season if Mahomes isn't 100% ready to go by week 1. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. But
I don't think Mahomes is going to be able to go for until the middle of the season. No.
I mean, he was developing well. I mean, that was probably a month ago. He was running around on the field. So I think he's healing a lot faster than expected. But I think he's going to be out the first few weeks.
Yeah.
So yeah, nothing too crazy out of the Chiefs. I mean, they were ass last year. I mean, they had a top 10 pick, so it can really only go up from there. I don't think they can be worse than 6-11 that they went. So they could definitely get better.
Yeah, they drafted Mansour Delane with that top 10 pick, and I think he'll be pretty good. I don't really understand why they traded up for him, but it's what it is.
So Garrett Nussmeier, maybe he'll start.
Fuck it, put him out there.
Anyway, on to our next team. What's seen as one of the most promising teams, going from shitty to good. We got the Raiders. Talk about free agency, trades, all that. They signed Kirk Cousins to the most confusing deal of all time. I'll just read out what it says on the NFL website. He signed what is essentially a fully guaranteed 1 year, $20 million deal. The contract also includes a 2 year, $80 million option for the 2027 and 2028 seasons, as well as 2 void years in 2029 and 2030 for salary cap purposes. So it's basically a 1 year, $20 million deal, but it could turn into a 3 year, could turn into a 5 year. So very confusing. Something that you definitely can't do in Madden. But yeah, I think
It's a lot in Madden.
He'll probably end up being the starter if they're smart about it, just because he's an experienced veteran, even though his stint in Atlanta was ass, having games with like 5 interceptions. I think he definitely will be better here in a better offense with a competent head coach. And then besides that, they made a few big deals. Big one, Tyler Linderbaum coming over from the Ravens, getting a 3 year, $81 million deal. It's okay, Jit.
No, not Buford, man. Buford.
And then with their linebackers, they really helped that a lot. They got Nakobe Dean signed to a 3 year deal, along with Quay Walker signed to a 3 year deal. Famous respecter of coaching staff, Quay Walker.
Athletic personnel.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. And then, I don't know, just other deals. Jalen Naylor got a 3 year deal, which I'm sure would help him a little bit. The biggest thing they did in the entire offseason was through the draft, number 1 overall pick, Fernando Mendoza. Like I said, I don't think that he'll start immediately. If they're smart about it, they should probably wait to let him start. Obviously, he's going to start eventually, maybe later on in the season, depending how everything goes. Like, if Kirk is playing like shit, then, I don't know, might as well throw him in. We'll see what happens with him, if he even starts this year at all. It really just all depends on how Kirk Cousins plays out.
Yeah. They also hired Clint Kubiak as their head coach. I think he'll be very good. I think he's what they need. Like, obviously just won the Super Bowl with the Seahawks, so he knows a thing or two about what it takes to win. And he was very much the gear that turned that offense. So
yeah,
amen.
I think they're set up pretty well right now.
Yeah. And then the last team that we'll be talking about in the AFC, we got the Chargers. JT, you want to talk about the Chargers? There's a few familiar faces on here for you.
Yeah. They stole my fucking goat, Keaton Mitchell. Fucking, I don't know what I'm gonna do, man. Keaton Mitchell, I think he's so fucking good, man. He's 5'8", man. He's so good. I love him. Anyway, they signed Charlie Kohler too. He kind of sucks. I don't know why. I don't know why
He's
they
a
paid
blocking
him
tight end. Listen, every team needs a good blocking tight end.
Amen.
Sure. And then they got David Njoku, Chief.
Yeah,
they just signed like random guys almost.
They re-signed Khalil Mack to an $18 million 1 year deal, which I don't know how this guy isn't retired yet, but sure, I guess if he wants to stay here even longer. They definitely upgraded their O-line. Shout out Banana Man. It's something that they desperately needed, especially after their 2 starting tackles just died mid-season. So picking guys like Biotish and Cole Strange and Pipkins, obviously guys that aren't like superstar offensive linemen, but better than what they have. So overall, I think that their free agency went well. They signed a lot of guys that they needed. Re-signing Derwin James to a 3 year deal, that's really nice. He's the highest paid safety in the league now. And then looking at the draft, just a lot of positions that they needed. So, I mean, they couldn't really go wrong with what they were doing. We'll see if Man can finally get over the hump of winning a playoff game.
Then he'll become When Man.
Amen. Also, having Mike McDaniel as their offensive coordinator will definitely help them out.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Oh yeah.
That's gonna be a very good fit with that personnel.
All right, on to the NFC.
Hey everyone, it's your boy JT, and we're going to take a quick break to talk a little bit about something that fuels this show and keeps us sharp through those late night recording sessions and intense editing. Dubby Energy. If you're like me, you need that extra kick to stay focused, whether you're gaming, grinding on a project, or just trying to get through the afternoon slump. But You don't want all that sugar, the weird jitters, or that inevitable crash, right? That's where Dubby comes in. This isn't your typical canned sugar rush. Dubby is a clean, focused energy formula that comes in incredible flavors such as Dragonade and Dub Sludge. It's designed to give you that smooth, sustainable energy you need without all the bad stuff. It's got zero sugar, a great blend of vitamins, and no artificial coloring. It's the best way to power up your day and your game. We absolutely love it, and we know you will too. And because you're a listener of this show, Dubby is hooking you up. Use our special code Loaf of Milk at checkout to get 10% off your entire order. That's 10% with our code LOAFOFMILK at Dubby.gg. Give yourself a serious focus upgrade. Try Dubby today. And now, back to the podcast. Ravens flock, let's fly.
So, first we're going to be talking about the NFC East. And the first one we'll be talking about is the Dallas Cowboys. Not a crazy lot going on here, if I'm being completely honest. They signed the GOAT, Brandon Aubrey, to a 4-year deal. So, guaranteeing that they have the best kicker in the league for 4 more years. So that's cool.
Hey, Cam Little's on his way. Just you wait and see.
Listen, he's a young little guy, so he's got time. But Brandon Aubrey's like 32, so
True.
he's shining for now. They franchise tag George Pickens. George Pickens has made it clear that he'll play on the franchise tag. He's not going to be like anybody else that gets franchise tagged, where they act like they want to die and kill themselves the entire
Surprising
season.
from an ex-Steelers wide receiver.
Exactly. They signed Javonte Williams, which they definitely need help in the run game, and I think he can definitely provide that. They signed the GOAT MVS, and then they traded for Rashawn Gary and D. Winters, so helping out their defense a little bit, which needs it more than most teams in the NFL. But not a crazy offseason by any means, but I think they definitely did better in their draft than anything.
Yeah, Caleb Downs.
Yeah, he fell to them.
Yeah.
It's a great fit for them too. They really needed the help. Then they also got Malachi Lawrence in the first.
Great guy. He's a great guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great first name,
No.
Malachi. I love Malachi's.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's it for Dallas, huh?
Yeah.
Yep.
Can I talk about my Giants?
Go ahead, buddy.
I love my New York teams. The New York Giants, or also the New York Ravens, as one might say, they basically stole half of the Ravens roster, including the coaching staff, John Harbaugh, and others. Obviously, the biggest signing being Pat Ricard, fullback. Great guy. And then they also signed OBJ, another former Raven, going back to the good old blue. And Isaiah Likely being a big one too. I love him. He's a great guy. Actually, sorry, guys. This was the biggest one. The greatest offensive lineman in all of history, Daniel Falele. I actually have a video on Daniel Falele and film study on why he's the greatest offensive lineman of all time. Oh, they also signed Darius Washington and Jordan Stout. So they just love the Ravens.
They signed so many people.
Yeah, they signed a lot. They really did.
It's almost like their head coach is from the Ravens.
I know, right?
They signed 7 wide receivers. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, man.
That's how bad Malik Neighbors' injury is, by the way.
One of them's already out for the season. Gunnar Olszewski's already out for the season with that injury. So,
well, one of these guys.
They signed 3 guys to replace him.
Like, there's no way Juju Smith-Schuster makes the roster.
No. Well, here's the thing: is that like the direct replacement that they could have made for Olszewski was Braxton Berrios, because it's return guys is what they were really looking for. Because Olszewski's
and he's white.
That too. Olszewski's big with special teams, and then OBJ was just so that Twitter can have fun with that, saying like, "Oh my God, OBJ's back with the Giants after all this time."
Yes,
the retirement tour.
Yeah, that was really they signed Tremaine Edmonds and Greg Newsome. Those are like probably the bigger ones. Other than that, nothing crazy.
And they signed DJ Reader to replace Dexter Lawrence.
Yeah.
But looking at their draft, they had a really nice draft.
They did have a very nice draft.
They did have a very nice draft.
My dad was very happy with their draft.
Yeah, Orville Reese with pick 5 and Francis Mauigoa with pick 10. I mean, two positions that they desperately needed.
And as if
They
they
got-
didn't need any more wide receivers, they drafted one in the third.
Yeah.
Yeah, Malachi Fields.
So
I actually really like the Colton Hood pick in the second. He just because of his aura celebration, where after like every incompletion he puts on a hood. It's pretty
That's
sick.
fire.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
on to our next team. We got the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't know where to start here. They re-signed Jordan Davis to a 3-year deal, so that's probably their real big one.
Singer?
Yeah, exactly. They traded for Jonathan Grenard. They kind of got a deal for that as well from the Vikings, and then immediately just signed him to a 4-year deal. So they got their Jalen Phillips replacement pretty much immediately, and they just made a lot of solid signings like Reek Woolen coming off that Super Bowl win with the Seahawks. They signed a lot of tight ends. They're just looking for anyone. They traded for Dontavian Wicks, signed Elijah Moore, signed Hollywood Brown. So the Eagles they're a weird team. I could see them going like either 13-4 or 4-13. Like they're just an odd team.
Dude, they have like 5 tight ends on their roster now because like also their draft.
Yeah, looking at their draft, they
They
took
got to
Mekhi
go
Lemon.
Eli Stowers.
They got Eli Stowers, man, which
Yeah.
He's the GOAT.
the greatest. They're a weird team right now. We'll see what happens. I feel like they're on the Steelers route of 9-8 with the roster they have now.
I mean, they'll
Yeah.
probably still win the division just because I don't really think I don't think any other team has the capabilities that I'm like confident in them to do
I
better.
don't know, man. I think the Giants have a chance.
They have a
Yeah.
chance, but there's a lot of ifs there, and like there's a lot of ifs with the Eagles, but I feel like they're the more like right now proven team.
Yeah.
So
Well, hold
it's
on.
gotta be between those two, I think.
Don't count out the next team we're about to talk about.
Second.
Sorry. I was watching Marcus Mariota highlights.
Yeah, that definitely sounds like Marcus Mariota.
Yeah, I guess a little
Anyway.
feminine now.
Speaking of Marcus Mariota, moving on to the commies. They re-signed him to a 1-year deal, which yeah, sure, cool. And then besides that, they made a lot of just like they had a few pretty big signings, like Adolfo Owe signing to a 4-year, $100 million deal, which is probably way too much, but it's whatever. Charles Omenihu to a 4-year or a 1-year deal rather. So just getting that depth, I guess. The big issue with this team is that they were very old, and I mean they got a little bit younger with some of the signings they made. But when you're also signing people like Van Jefferson to your team, like it doesn't really show that you're looking for people that are much younger. And then getting Sonny Styles to join that defense,
He could be better than old ass Bobby Wagner.
that's really all anybody could ask for. Right. Anyway, on to the NFC North. We got the reigning champs of the division, the Chicago Bears. They made a good amount of moves. I mean, if we're being real, there's not much they needed to do. They lost more guys than anything, just a free agency. But this was a team that pretty much has all the pieces that they need to succeed, especially on offense. And they're a very young team as well. So really, the sky's the limit for them. It's the first time the Bears have been good in quite a while. A lot of the signings that they made were just depth positions, really. Like if you go look, a lot of them are just 1-year deals. I mean, then there's some outliers like Devin Bush being signed to a $30 million 3-year deal, which isn't bad at all. Kobe Bryant getting signed to a 3-year $40 million deal. So any positions that they really lost, they were able to find guys to replace, I guess. But this is a team that was pretty much doing well on all cylinders. There's not much they really had to do. And then getting people like Dylan Diamond to help out with what they lost in free agency as well. I mean, I think they're still going to be a pretty good team.
Yeah, I think they're gonna get cursed by the Madden curse though.
Oh, yeah, God only knows what happens with that.
Yeah,
The Banana Man curse.
that's what we're calling it from now. That's what we all are calling it.
Yes.
Everybody watching this.
Yes.
All right. And then the next team in the NFC North, we got the undisputed, most amazing team in the NFC, the Detroit Lions. Jared Goff.
Jared Goff.
They had some pretty good moves. I mean, re-signing Jack Campbell to a 4-year deal is that's real nice. And then just signing a lot of depth positions. Again, this is another team, like their offense is able to pretty much click on all cylinders, even though their O-line was pretty ass. They were able to kind of solve those issues a little bit through free agency as well as the draft. So especially taking Blake Miller in the first round. It's just a matter of if the offensive line can work a little bit better this year, if this team can be as elite as they've been the 2 years prior. Similar to the Bears, they were already pretty fine. I mean, obviously they didn't do too well last year. This is a team that just needed a few more pieces to kind of be better. And I think that most of us can agree that this is definitely one of the scariest divisions to be in the NFL right now. There's
100%.
really not a bad team on here. I mean, you can kind of argue the Vikings, but even so, they still have some crazy weapons on the offense and the defense. So,
Yeah.
And then our next team, we got the Packers. Really not
Chinese
much.
giggles.
Fucking Jesus Christ. Not much was done here. Signing Tyrod Taylor and Chinese giggles and trading for Zaire Franklin. Even through the draft, they didn't even have a pick until like the end of the second round. So I don't know, we'll see what happens with them. They were good last year, but they didn't really do too much to improve. So again, we'll see what happens. And then last in the NFC North, we got the Minnesota Vikings starting QB with Kyler Murray. He's signed to a 1-year deal, which I think is pretty cheap because he's still getting a lot of money from the Cardinals to play. Kind of similar to the Russell Wilson playing on the Steelers after being cut by the Broncos situation.
Yeah.
They made a few good signings. I mean, bringing Jawan Jennings, it's a good wide receiver 3, especially after Thielen retired, just having that veteran presence in there. Not that they needed wide receiver, obviously, after they have Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison, who's out every other game from like gambling or like driving a car too fast. Or
Damn, his contract is cheap.
I know. Yeah, it's crazy.
That's good. That's a good deal. That's good value.
And then signing people like James Pierre and Eric Wilson just to help out the defense a little bit. Another team that didn't really do too much through free agency, but just did kind of what they needed. The Packers and Vikings are very much in kind of similar situations in the fact that like they're just in a good division and it's just kind of can you compete with the people in the division along with whoever else you play.
I think more so the Vikings are gonna have that issue because I think like the Packers like they'll be able to play the other teams in their division they'll be able to play like the other teams in the NFC I think a little bit better than the Vikings and I think they could get like a wild card spot whereas I don't know if I see the Vikings doing that but like I could still see them being decent.
I mean, listen, KOC and Kyler could be lethal. It just depends on if they mesh well.
I have learned to never trust either the Cardinals or Kyler Murray.
All right. And then our next team, we got the Atlanta Falcons. They got rid of their head coach and Raheem Morris and replaced him with Kevin Stefanski, which honestly, not the worst move ever. It's not like Stefanski was a bad coach. He just couldn't get them over that hump. I mean, he won Coach of the Year twice while he was in Cleveland, so he's definitely not a bad coach, but I think he just needed a change of surroundings to really be a good coach. Anyone want to talk about the Falcons?
They got Tua.
Oh yeah, they got Tua.
Yeah, we'll see how that
That's all I
goes.
wanted to say.
Yeah, they signed the running back Brian Robinson, to a 1-year, $2.5 million contract. Jahan Dotson, they re-signed Drake London. They re-signed Kyle Pitts. They signed the worst offensive tackle in NFL history, Jawan Taylor. Yeah, they traded for Mason Smith, the worst defensive lineman in the NFL. They signed Nick Folk. I don't know, what did they even do in the draft? Hold on, I gotta pull it up. Atlanta. Oh, they drafted AJ Terrell's brother. That was pretty cool. And they drafted JT's favorite player of all time, Zachariah Branch.
Yes.
That's about it.
Yeah, it seems that as we're getting into the NFC, they're just not as exciting.
Yeah.
Except when we look at the next team.
With the Panthers.
Carolina Panthers signing one of Super Bowl winning quarterback Kenny Pickett to their roster. I mean, when we're talking great quarterbacks to back up Bryce Young, we're talking about Kenny Pickett, man.
Yeah, man.
GOAT.
They took John's boy Devin Lloyd.
Yeah,
this is a team that had a lot of money. that they were just able to kind of throw around. So they were able to sign Devin Lloyd to a 3-year deal and Jalen Phillips to a 4-year deal.
He's gonna be so good for them, man.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think
And they were already good. They made the playoffs last year, so
I think the Panthers have the best chance at winning this division.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I mean, they won it last year just by the skin of their teeth, but I think they still have the best chance to win it this year. But also a team that made some improvements. We got the New Orleans Saints, another team in the NFC South that took one of John's boys.
I'm blowing up the entire NFC South. I hate this division.
Hey man, they took David Edwards too. I don't know what I'm gonna do about that.
We need to plot a scheme. You and I will.
But yeah, this is definitely a team that got better as well. Getting Travis Etienne, David Edwards on the offense, and then some guys on the defense like Caden Ellis on a 3-year deal. Bringing back Cameron Jordan for 1 more year before he retires. So I think this whole division is very weird. We just don't know who's going to win it. We don't know who's going to be the best, who's going to be the worst.
It's like how it is every year.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, down the shitter.
Nothing changes. And then lastly, in this division, we have the Bucks. They helped out some of their positions that they needed, like getting Alex Anzalone in the linebacker position on a 2-year deal, bringing Kenneth Gainwell to replace Rashad White, which not that they need him, but now they have 2 shifty little guys at the running back position, so they can do quite a lot with their offense. And then re-signing people like Cade Otton.
Yeah, they got Ruben Bain, who was
Yeah,
a
it's a stud.
good value pick for where they were drafting.
Yeah, he was really happy to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, listen, he's all about his business.
He's a killer.
He's gonna murder Bryce Young.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they better hope.
Overall, NFC West, or NFC South rather, didn't really do a crazy amount, but we'll see what happens with them. It's a coin toss every year. And then we got the last division, the NFC West, starting off with the Arizona Cardinals, signing one of the greatest quarterbacks in all the NFL, Gardner Minshew, to a 1-year deal.
The GOAT.
I mean, as of right now, I don't really know what's going on with Jacoby Brissett, if he's still like bitching and crying about his contract. If so, then Gardner Minshew has a pretty good chance of starting week 1.
Well, you never know. Carson Beck.
Yeah, with any team, if you're starting a rookie
Sit the
week 1,
sloth.
it's almost guaranteed to be a bad idea. They signed Tyler Algier to a 2-year deal. Poor guy got immediately replaced by Jeremiah Love, so poor guy.
I feel so bad for Tyler Algier.
He can't go
Not
anywhere
catch a
without
break.
getting replaced by a rookie.
I feel so bad for him. Prayers up for Tyler Algier.
They had some okay signings, like bringing Kendrick Bourne, JT's boy Devin Duvernay.
Dingleberry.
They stole my GOAT, Andrew Wingard.
Yeah, true.
They signed Isaac Salamalu.
Who?
Samalu. The guard?
The guy from the Steelers.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This is also a team that's just like guaranteed to be shit, so it's like a miracle if they do well.
Yeah,
The Cardinals have
shitter.
been like a dark horse sleeper the past few years, but I think we've all just realized like they can't go anywhere.
Plus, every other team in this division is just like kind of cracked.
Yeah,
So-
well, we're about to get there with our next team, but yeah, they're almost guaranteed to fail with
Yeah, there's nothing really they could do about it.
our next team. Boy, did they do stuff. We got the Rams. First thing that they changed their logo, which it looks like dog shit now, but that's whatever.
Welcome to
So
Lowe's.
bad. It's
Mets-
like this.
Welcome to Lowe's.
Yeah, Matt Stafford signed a contract extension. He announced at NFL Honors after he won MVP that he was going to be doing that. So it's cool to see. Old ass Tyler Higbee as well signed a 2-year deal, so that's cool for him, I guess. And then they made 2 pretty big trades. So the first trade they made for corner Trent McDuffie from the Chiefs, exchanged their 1st-round pick, 5th-round pick, and a 6th-round pick, and a 2027 3rd-rounder to get McDuffie. And then they immediately signed him to a 4-year deal. So the best corner on the Chiefs now goes over to the Rams, helps out a room that desperately needed some corners. And along with him, they also brought over Jalen Watson through free agency, signing him to a 3-year deal. So the 2 best corners on the Chiefs just now on the Rams. Yeah, Chiefs be struggling.
Amen.
Also signing Cam Curl to re-signing him to a 3-year deal. That's definitely helping out their secondary. And then the biggest trade of the offseason. Biggest trade for quite a while now. They traded for Myles Garrett, trade for the Cleveland Browns. They sent him over Jared Verse, which that poor guy. He's on a Super Bowl contender, and now he's on the Browns. Yeah, so they sent over Jared Verse, the first-round pick, and a second-round pick in 2028 and the third in 2029. So I don't want to say it's value, but it's not bad for probably the best defensive player, if not the best player in the NFL.
Yeah, the only thing that like I said before is like he is 30, and like you do have to start wondering about when like the decline happens.
Yeah.
But this is very much like they are now expected to win this. It is no longer their contenders. They are expected to win the Super Bowl this year. And if they don't win, it's gonna like kind of suck for them.
Yeah, if they don't win this year, they're absolutely fucked. Because like while they do have a good amount of young guys on this team, they're paying Stafford and Garrett so much money that they're going to need like one of them to retire in order to re-sign Puka or like trade Devontae or something, because this is a very, very good team. But if they can't make it, then it's just
and like I don't know, like Myles Garrett is the best player, but I don't know how necessary it was to give up to go from Jared Verse to Myles Garrett. You know, like I feel like Jared Verse, like they could have won with him and still kept their picks for the next few years, but. I mean, listen, if they really want to win this year, then yeah, I'd probably take Myles Garrett. But I could definitely see like if they don't win next year, this is one of the darkest teams like in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
A lot riding on the shoulders of Matthew Stafford and Myles Garrett.
Absolutely.
And then the draft, they took Ty Simpson.
That's like, it's so weird because this is obviously them going all in, trading for McDuffie and Myles Garrett, but then they take Ty Simpson in the first round. Like, it doesn't
so make sense. It's they view like their first round picks as like luxuries. Like they don't even view it as like, oh, they need to draft somebody to like fill a need on their team. They just draft to like they plan around their offseason without having a draft pick. It's so weird.
Yeah, pretty much. I guess we'll see what happens with him. I mean, obviously he's meant to be the Stafford replacement. Whenever Stafford retires, which will probably be within the next year or two, it will most likely be the guy that replaces him. And I mean, where better to be than with Sean McVay and behind Matthew Stafford to develop as a quarterback.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good landing spot. I mean, all things considered, it's good. It's good for Ty Simpson. It's good for Ty Simpson.
He gets a Super Bowl ring just for sitting on a bench. I mean, hey.
Hell yeah, I'd sign up for that.
Yeah, me too.
And I'm getting paid millions of dollars. Like, fuck yeah.
Hell yeah.
Already with all that NIL money? Shit.
Hell yeah.
Our last two teams, we got the Niners, the biggest signing. Mike Evans finally leaving Tampa Bay and going over here.
They signed Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, they signed We are Charlie. Yeah, a signing that's good for them in a way because they definitely needed wide receiver after Juwan Jennings leaves. And then, I mean, Debo's been gone for a whole season now, and God only knows what's going on with Brandon Ayuk. He's fully
we don't even need to talk about that.
He's fully convinced that he's going and playing for the Commanders, but I don't think that
he's got to have.
He's
CT.
off the rails.
Oh, he's
got to be like AB. Dude, do you remember when Antonio Brown thought he was going to be a Raven, and he was posting Twitter?
It's so weird because it was just like out of nowhere that it happened too. Like he got hurt, and then they're like, "All right, he'll be back next year," and then it's just been like it's been this.
Yeah, now he's like beefing with Jaden Daniels' mom. Like, what the fuck are we doing?
You're just joined the team and you're already beefing with the starting quarterback's mom?
You're hired. You're in.
Zach Wilson with every team he goes to.
Oh, we didn't talk about him going to the Saints.
Yeah, it's okay. Zach Wilson, if you want us to talk about you, come on the podcast. We'll happily talk to you.
Yeah.
But don't come anywhere near my house.
What'd you say, Chit?
I said I know a hot mom for him.
Oh, yeah.
May or may not live in Long Island.
I wasn't thinking of that mom, but yeah.
Yeah, I think you're thinking about upstate.
Yeah, I'm more thinking of upstate.
But that was yours.
Stepmom. Maybe a stepmom.
You get a trader?
Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, they had other notable signings, I guess. I mean, they've re-signed Trent Williams, who, Jesus Christ, I don't know how he's still in the league either. Just go retire, man.
He doesn't want to be with his kids.
I guess so.
Hates his kids.
They traded for Oso Digizua from the Cowboys, so I think they'll still be good, but I think they're slowly on the decline.
Yeah.
And then lastly, the reigning Super Bowl champions, the Seattle Seahawks, lost quite a lot of guys. I mean, that's kind of bound to happen after you win a Super Bowl. It gives them a chance to go play somewhere else. They got their ring, so now they just go for the money. But they re-signed the Emerald City Route artist to a 4-year deal, making sure he's here till the 2031 season. So, GOAT. I'm sure they're very happy to have him, Offensive Player of the Year. And besides that, a lot of like depth stuff. I mean, they re-signed Jake Bobo after the Jags tried to get him. He said, hell
Fucking
no.
pissed. I would have been so happy. I would have been like, yo, anything that happened this offseason, out the window if we would have gotten Jake Bobo.
Yeah, but you're fine at
No.
wide receiver.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
but he's
Travis
Jake
Hunter.
Bobo. You don't get it.
Oh, okay.
He's white.
Exactly.
They re-signed Rashid Shaheed.
Yeah, Rashid Shaheed too. There's definitely a team that can go back to the Super Bowl, but the Rams are a little too scary.
That's a good team.
Yeah.
Man.
I mean, this is a team that's like kind of primed to like regress, just because
Yeah.
like the nature of like they won the Super Bowl and then going back to back is very difficult to do. But then also the division's hard. They lost a lot of key players, so if you're gonna pick on a team to do worse this year than last year, it's probably this team. But I mean, listen. Then again, don't take my advice because I also said that Sam Darnold going to the Seahawks in the first place was a bad move. Apparently I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to the Seahawks.
Yeah, that's all 32 teams in the NFL.
Wow.
Anyway, it's kind of all we had. I mean, not that it wasn't a lot, but the future for Milk Clock kind of goes like this. We're probably not going to have another episode until September-ish, just because nothing really happens that's notable during the months of July to August. I mean, obviously there's training camp and preseason and all that. Unless there's some like crazy trade that happens or some signing or whatever, like if Diggs or Tyreek go somewhere, nothing really crazy is going to happen, and that can be something that we just mentioned in our week 1 video. Chances are that this will be the last one until the 2026-2027 season actually starts. You won't be getting any like clickbait videos out of us just talking about the most random bullshit. Yeah, if you're looking for more content from us, I suggest just listening to the Loaf and Mo podcast, watching our diner series, which is in development, and whatever else we release on all our platforms. You guys got anything you wanna mention before JT gives his famous Jameis speech?
We had a
Well-
lot of fun doing this episode.
We giggle a lot.
We giggle a
giggled.
lot. But we don't have too much fun,
Too
Kyle.
much, not too
okay?
much.
Not too much fun. Yeah. It was good to be back. I kind of miss doing these.
Yes, me too. So
Yeah.
much. I'm it sucks that, whenever I think about football season, I'm like, oh fuck, summer's almost done, but this is the only thing that excites me. It's football season, and I can't wait for football season to come back. I miss it.
Amen.
All right, take
All
it
right,
away,
Jake.
Jet.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the off season's almost over. We survived the mock drafts, the trade rumors, the workout videos that made everyone look like an MVP. But the waiting is almost over. Training camp is calling. Football is knocking. The pads are coming on. And soon we'll stop asking what if and start finding out. Stay patient. Stay ready. Because the return of football is closer than a goal line tush push. Amen.
Wow,
That was beautiful.
Thank you guys.
that was beautiful.
That's how you know we're back when the Jameis speeches are back. Hell yeah.
Amen. But anyway, look for us back in September when the 2026 season starts for our weekly uploads. If there's one thing we can guarantee, it's that. Boy, do I love editing an episode every week. There's nothing I enjoy more than sitting in front of my computer for 3 hours, staring at
Just listening to
Audacity.
JT's voice on
Mhm.
repeat.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
But in the
Sitting
meantime,
for JT ASMR.
Today, guys, we're going to be listening.
What the fuck?
anyway, follow us on Instagram and YouTube
TikTok.
and TikTok and Twitter and Spotify and don't know, basically any social besides like Facebook or some shit. We're on everything, so you can find us anywhere. Go look in the description for all our socials. Make sure you use code Loaf of Milk at w.gg for all your energy drink needs. We love W. Kyle loves it more than any of us. Actually, he drinks that stuff every single day.
Mm-hmm.
True.
If he were here, he would, even though it's 11:40 p.m., he'd be drinking it, and
He would
being
dub
up
all
for
over
it.
the place.
All over the place.
We'll see you. We'll see you in a few months. In the meantime,
Ravens flock, let's fly!
Duval.
shout out Bob.